Scores of supporters right there of suspected killer Luigi Mangione rallying outside of a New York City courthouse Friday. Mangione, who has pleaded not guilty in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, made his first court appearance since his arraignment back in December. Ali Bauman was in the courtroom and joins us here this morning with more. Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Errol. In Friday's proceedings, prosecutors described some of the evidence they've submitted, including surveillance video and forensic tests. But Mangione's lawyer says she is still missing much of that evidence and is arguing that may infringe his right to a fair trial.
Luigi Mangione was walked into a Manhattan courtroom Friday wearing a bulletproof vest over his green sweater. The 26-year-old sat attentively in court with his hands and feet shackled. The judge denied his attorney's request to remove them for the proceedings.
When I go visit Luigi at MDC in Brooklyn, I sit with him. He is unshackled. He walks around freely in the visiting area. We sit in a room together without law enforcement hovering over us. But for whatever reason, here, despite all the law enforcement, they need him to be wearing this vest.
This is Mangione's first court appearance in nearly 2 months when he pleaded not guilty to the 11 state charges against him, including first-degree murder and furtherance of terrorism. He also faces federal murder charges, which could make him eligible for the death penalty. The Ivy League grad is accused of assassinating UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a Midtown hotel in December. Thompson was a husband and father of 2 from Minnesota. Prosecutors have alleged Mangione was driven by anger at the health insurance industry. An investigator said he had a notebook with him when he was arrested in Pennsylvania, detailing his plans. But in court Friday, his defense attorney claimed she had not received that nor other crucial pieces of evidence from the prosecution.
Luigi's right to a fair trial is being infringed upon because he is being publicly treated as guilty and as having the presumption of guilt as opposed to the presumption of innocence, which is what he is entitled to.
We, the people, want Luigi free!
Supporters of the suspect chanted for his release throughout the hearing, so loud at times they could be heard from inside the courtroom.
And Ali joins us now. I tell you, you spoke to some of his supporters. What comments did they make? What did they have to say?
Some people waited hours in the hallway for a chance to get inside of that courtroom. 19 of them eventually did. There are at least 100 people in that hallway waiting. I spoke to some of them. Some of them told me they were there because they believe that Luigi is innocent. Some said they believe that this case in general is bringing up the conversation of issues in the healthcare industry.
It's so interesting. They've got images of him. He's on posters. And it was notable he was wearing that bulletproof vest. So I was interested to hear why his lawyer said that was even necessary. What's next then in this case? Because the trial itself hasn't started yet. Yes,
and you're right. And it was that the shackles on his wrists and his ankles that she really had a problem with. Even though there's no jury in the courtroom right now, as the judge pointed out in the proceeding yesterday, there's still photos, and these photos are being seen so widely. She wanted those shackles off. They did stay on for the judge's order. So his next court appearance is going to be in federal court in next month, and in the meantime, he's waiting. He's still waiting that in federal prison in Brooklyn.
All right, Ali Bauman, thanks so much. Great report.